Hi, welcome back to No B.S Mortgage Advice. My name's Brad East, and today we're going to be talking about how lenders calculate how much you can borrow. So the overall calculation isn't very complex. It's basically your income, so your overall income minus your expenses. So as an example, you might earn, say, $100,000 per annum. They take the tax out of that, which I think that sits around about $30,000 or $40,000. Then they subtract any of your expenses. So usually you've got living expenses. Lenders will use an average living expense across most people. So you can't get away with saying that you only spend $100 a week on groceries or whatever it is, because they will average and use a minimum living expense. So they will subtract the living expenses off your income as well, and any other fixed liabilities you might have, such as credit cards, rent, anything like that. So it's really important to make sure that those liabilities and those expenses are as low as possible to increase your capacity. So the more credit cards you have, the lower your capacity will be. So lenders, especially with credit cards, they use a percentage of the total limit to work out how much you need to pay back on that credit card each month. So if you had a $10,000 credit card, they calculate that your monthly repayments are $380 per month, so 3.8%. So you can see how, quite quickly that does build up. $380 is a lot when it comes to borrowing capacity. Now, once they've figured out what net income you have left, they match that up to what the proposed repayments are going to be. Now, they don't use, when they propose those repayments, they don't use the actual interest rate as it is right now. So the average interest rate as of today is around 6.5%. They don't use that when they calculate your proposed repayment. They actually add a buffer to that, and that sits usually around 3%. So they're actually calculating your capacity to repay at 9%, 9.5% at the moment. So they add a few buffers to those things. Now, another thing they do as well is they actually add buffers to your existing debts as well. So your car loans and personal loans and stuff like that as well. So again, it is really important that you keep those debts down as much as you can. So another thing, I guess a couple of tips to really bring down that overall liability is maybe consider consolidating some debts before you do apply for a home loan if you have concerns about your borrowing capacity. So if you had a few credit cards and a few other little small zip pays, afterpays, that sort of thing, you could consolidate them into one personal loans, and then you've just got that one repayment. That repayment could then be over a 7-year term. So instead of your $10,000 credit card, which is a $380 expense per month, you spread that over a 7-year period, for example, and that's substantially less. Gives you a little bit more borrowing power. Obviously, avoid things like purchasing a new car, anything like that, before applying for a home loan as well. So thanks for jumping on today. Just some quick tips on how to increase your borrowing power for when you purchase your first home.